Hey everyone, fishing is one of the oldest professions in WoW, and in 17 years of existence, it barely changed, if at all. You learn the profession, you get a fishing pole, you throw your bobber in a body of water, and you wait until something is caught, then you just click on it. Players have been fishing in WoW since the early days for a multitude of reasons. For completionism's sake, for achievements, dailies, and most importantly, for gold. And that's what we're gonna put fishing to the test for today. Is it worthwhile to indulge in this very boring gold making method? And how much gold can you exactly expect from it? To answer that, we're gonna be fishing for 10 hours straight, and instead of focusing on one spot to fish, which could be bad compared to the rest, we're gonna do 3 different fishing spots and determine which one is the best, and most importantly, how much gold per hour can you exactly expect to make by doing one of the most accessible gold making methods in the game, be it also one of the most boring ones. Let's just get right into it and find out. Alright, so just like we usually do for these 10-hour videos, I'm starting with a completely empty inventory. So that way, whatever gold amount you see at the end will be exactly how much I made. Although this time, since we want to know which spot is the best, we'll have to figure out how much gold we made each step of the way. But we'll get to that later. Also, there's gonna be a timer, as usual, showing how far into the farm I am. Each 3 hours 20 minutes, I'll be switching spots and moving to the next one. So I chose spots based on which fish is worth the most currently on my server, which is Pyrewood Village EU, by the way. So your mileage may vary on your particular server, but overall it should be quite similar. Anyways, the first spot I chose is good old Nagrand, for its coveted Icefin Bluefish, one of the coolest looking places in the game and also one of the nicest ones to fish in. And the reason is because out of the 3 spots I chose, this one is the only one where you can just fish in open water and not have to worry about finding schools of fish like the other 2 we'll get to later. So yeah, let's just start the timer, and while I'm fishing, let's talk about exactly what you can expect to get from Nagrand. So obviously the main star of the show is the Icefin Bluefish. This fish is currently going on for around 1 gold per unit on my server. We'll see how much I can sell it for exactly later on. But this is the main thing we're after here. The next fish you're likely to catch here is Fig Luster's Mudfish. Definitely not as sought after, going for only 5 to 6 silver currently, but whatever, at least we're not just gonna vendor it. Unlike the last fish you're likely to catch here, which is barbed gel trout. You're gonna see a lot of this wherever you fish from in Outland, and unfortunately most of the time you'll end up vendoring it, and it was definitely the case with all the ones I got here, but more on that later. Other than that, you'll also get the occasional scroll case, which can contain a lot of valuable scrolls, very useful for hunters for their pets, hence why they sell for around 2 to 5 gold each, depending on which one you get, of course. Also, you may notice this fishing icon that pops up at the bottom left of my screen occasionally. This is a weak aura that I made that helps me keep track of when I have a bait applied to my fishing pole, because most of the time I'm completely distracted by something else on my second screen, and you definitely want a bait on your fishing pole to catch anything from any of those 3 spots that I'm gonna mention. I'll include this weak aura in the description if you want it. All it does is it shows this icon when there's less than 30 seconds left on the buff. But other than that, that's everything you can expect from Nagrand. It's a very nice place to farm in because you can just pick one spot and stay here for as long as you want, and just watch a movie or something else on your second screen. But obviously that comes with a caveat, and that's the fact that you can't expect a lot of gold from here, at least not compared to the other 2 spots we're gonna mention. So after being done here and selling everything I got, which was quite fast by the way, in 3 hours and 20 minutes we got 224 Icefin Bluefish that I sold for 90 silver each, 254 Fig Lusters for 5 silver each, 300 barbed gel trout which I just ended up vendoring, I just couldn't get them to sell as hard as I tried, and 1 agility scroll. And after selling all of that, I only made 219 gold. That's around 66 gold per hour. Definitely not the best gold maker, but if you're just looking to make gold while turning off your brain, this is definitely the lowest effort way to doing that. But for now, let's move on to our next spot, and that's Terokkar Forest. Specifically the waters around Turem. The main thing we're after here is Golden Darter, which is one of the most expensive fishes in TBC currently, if not the most expensive, going around 1 gold 15 silver currently on my server. Along with that, you'll get a ton of spotted failtail, barbed gill trout, scroll cases, and also curious crates, but more on those in a second. For now, let's talk about the Golden Darter itself. So, the thing about this fish is that you can catch it from both the schools of fish, called bracfish mixed schools, or from the open waters here. Although you'll get way less from the open water than from the schools, obviously. So, at the start you can see I was going around the place quite a lot trying to get as many schools of fish as I could. But I quickly found out that there just isn't enough of these, and they don't respawn fast enough. So it would definitely be a waste of time to just focus on those. So instead, what I did is I cleared this kind of circle around Turem of all the schools of fish I saw, and just fished from open waters for around 15 minutes, then I just repeated this operation over and over again. 15 minutes I found is a good time to have all the schools respawn. Keep in mind of course that there could be other players hunting for them too, but yeah, there isn't much you can do about that. So fishing from the open water unfortunately gets you a lot of barbed gill trout and spotted failtail, which are going to be vendored for 8 copper each, unfortunately. But every now and then you'll also get a Golden Darter from the open waters. The saving grace for this spot, and why it's so good, is definitely the schools of fish. Not only can you expect way more Golden Darter from these, but you'll also find a lot of scroll cases in them and also curious crates. So curious crates can contain a multitude of things, from fell iron ore to not hide leather to motes of water, to even gray items that can sell for 10 gold each. So they're definitely quite nice to get. And around here you'll also rarely find schools of darter. Those, as you can guess, can contain way more Golden Darter than the other type of school, so that's good too to find them. But after spending another 3 hours 20 minutes here, I got exactly 188 Golden Darter, which I sold for 1 gold 5 silver each, 122 spotted failtail, and 274 barbed gill trout, which I all vendored for 8 copper each. Some huge spotted failtail, those are quite nice. They're used for a new recipe in phase 2, which is bis for tanks. So they sell for 1 gold 14 silver each, and I got 5 of them. And obviously a bunch of scrolls of each type and a bunch of other miscellaneous items from curious crates. In total, that's 352 gold after selling everything, and that's 105 gold per hour. Not the best, but definitely not the worst either for doing one of the most accessible gold farms in the game. But for now, let's move on to our last spot, which is going to still be in Terokkar Forest, but this time we're going higher to a place only accessible by flying mount, Skettis. So there's quite a few annoying things about fishing in Skettis. For one, the thing we're after is Furious Crawdad. This is a fish that only drops from schools, the highland mixed schools, so we can't complement our fishing with open water fishing. Well, I mean you could of course, but since I decided to focus on Furious Crawdad for the sake of this video, I chose not to do that. The other thing that's annoying about this place is that Skettis, which is the daily hub for Shatari Skyguard, is actually not the only place you can find highland mixed schools. There's actually 2 more lakes quite far away from here, so if you want to efficiently farm Furious Crawdad, you'll have to have a fast flying mount. And finally, Skettis is filled with elementals in the water that will not hesitate to jump on you as soon as you're in their aggro range. Of all the 3 spots I tried, this one is the only one where I had to kill mobs. But that being said, Furious Crawdad is one of the most valuable fish in TBC, going for 1 gold 20 silver each currently. Although you'll see that I didn't sell it for quite that price at all in a minute. And also, the highland mixed schools, other than containing crawdads, they can also contain Golden Darters, which is the other most valuable fish in TBC. So those schools are definitely the best. And because you're fishing solely on schools, this also means you'll get a ton of scroll cases and curious crates, which is definitely a plus. But yeah, because you're only fishing from schools of fish, and because there's 3 lakes to get them from, and because they also have a 15 minutes respawn timer, you'll be spending most of your time flying from one place to the other rather than spending your time fishing, so you will not actually get as much fishes as the other two spots. Also, because there's mobs all around the place, you'll have to fight quite often, which is definitely annoying. So, after fishing here for 3.5 hours, here's what we got. 42 Golden Darter, which I sold for 1 gold 4 silver each, 6 huge spotted Failtail for 1 gold 15 silver each, a bunch of scrolls and other reagents, and here's the disappointing part, 147 Furious Crawdad, which I was only able to sell for 82 silver each. There's definitely something going on with Furious Crawdad. The demand for these definitely fell off a cliff, and I suspect that's because of the new type of stamina food added in phase 2. So unfortunately, the price of Furious Crawdad got affected hard here. And out of all the fishes I got, this one took the longest to sell, even though it's not the one I had the most quantity of. But from here, I got 287 gold. That's 86 gold per hour. Definitely not as good as the 105 gold per hour we got from farming Golden Darter around Turim downstairs, but also better than the 66 gold per hour we got from doing Nagrand open waters only. So, it's time to answer the big question. Is fishing worth it for gold making? Well, look at it this way. If you compare this to other gold farming methods, this is definitely not worth your time. There's tons of other ways to make gold in the game, sometimes open world farms accessible to everyone. We made a 10-hour farm doing Throne of Kil'jaeden, for example, which is way better than this and which you should definitely check if you're after some serious big money. But that being said, fishing is one of the lowest effort ways to make gold in the game. You just throw your bobber in the water, crank your game sound all the way up, and just click when you hear it move. And it's also the most accessible way to make gold, be it one of the longest ones to level, that is. So, if you're looking for the best gold making methods, fishing is definitely not it. But if you're looking for a relaxing gold making method, which is also quite decent gold per hour, fishing is definitely for you. And that's everything I have for you today. I love doing these 10-hour farm videos, and fishing was definitely the most relaxing one to do. I know a lot of people don't like it because of how boring it can be, but I definitely enjoyed it. With that, if you guys want to see more 10-hour farm videos like these to find your next best gold making method in TBC, you can go ahead and click the playlist on the right here. Also, if you guys enjoyed this video, remember to give it a like and subscribe to the Classic WoW Curios channel for more content like this. I will see you guys in the next one very soon. Bye for now.